Hi everybody, it's Chris here. So when did you last see a really good Excel dashboard? The truth is, you don't see many really good Excel dashboards, and it's only in the past few years of my career that I've really developed a method that works every time for creating consultant level Excel dashboards. So if you like this kind of thing, if you like dynamic quality in your Excel dashboards, if you like some charts, and if you like some bells and whistles like this nice flag feature, you're going to love the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to show you 7 features that I put in all my Excel dashboards and how you can do them. But if we're meeting for the first time, I'm Chris Mortimer. I'm an Excel content creator, real world consultant, and lecturer. And this year on the channel is the year of your Excel success. 50 videos to move your career forward with better Excel skills. And our Excel cheat sheet is the companion to the year of your Excel success. Is available for a free single PDF download. The link is below. So with that said, let's get into this one. And the first consultant feature of a dashboard is good use of space. Yes, in Excel, the grid is your canvas. If the canvas isn't the right size, your painting is never going to be any good. So what I do is I use shapes. So I'm just holding down the control key here. I use shapes to kind of map out what my dashboard is going to look like, to work out where the main features are going to be, and to make good use of space. So I recommend doing this with shapes because these shapes, they're easier to manipulate. And I recommend you stick to a 3x3 grid. Yes, a 3x3 grid layout works every time for Excel dashboards. Some of your elements might span more than one column in this grid, but I recommend this is how you get started. So let's get rid of these shapes and let's get into our Excel dashboard. You can see on the left, the dashboard is looking good. On the right, we're going to try to fix and get it looking good. So the second consultant grade feature of Excel dashboards is good use of space. Yes, consistent column widths and consistent row heights. So for this, make sure you can see the grid lines, Alt-W-VG on the Windows PC, and I can see clearly this table, the column widths are not consistent. So how I do this really quickly, Alt-H-O-W on the Windows PC and just click enter. Then use the F4 key to repeat the last action. So let's say, for example, I wanted to replicate this column width on the other side of the dashboard. I can just hit enter here, then navigate over to the other side and hit the F4 key. So we can see good use of space, and we can see those consistent column widths and row heights. This is creating a framework for our dashboard to sit on and our dashboard to look good. So we're going to need some merged cells. We don't want lots of merged cells, but some merging of cells is necessary. So say we don't have any merged cells yet. Why do we need merged cells? We need merged cells to allow bigger fonts. Think of your car dashboard. You're going to have some big writing, for example, the speed you're going, and some small writing. This is a really powerful thing. So Alt-HMC on the Windows PC, that's going to allow us to increase the font size. So what font size have we got over here? Font size 18. And this is how we can use merge cells. Also for subtitles. So I can see these subtitles, these cells are merged. So I'm going to go ahead, Alt-HMC on the Windows PC. And then I can use the F4 key again to create these subtitles. And something like this is going to do the job. That's F4, not F5. So just using this F4 key to repeat the last action allows me fairly quickly to go ahead and get this dashboard looking good. So what about colors in Excel dashboards? The fourth thing that consultants do really well is they have a simple approach to color. So I've said it many times on the channel, you only need one color. Yes, a one color scheme is the best way with Excel spreadsheets. Let's go ahead and copy this color across. In fact, because these cells are merged, that might create some complications. So I'm going to go ahead and put this color in. But the important thing is, we're only using one color. Okay, we're using gray too. So we're using one color and gray to make the magic happen here. I'm just going to unmerge these cells and get this positioning right. Alt-HMC, and let's just grab this text here, so performance, and put it in this cell here. which is our merge cell. And yeah, we're experiencing some problems with the merge cells there, but there you go. Something like this works well. We've got dark blue and light blue, and then we don't want any colors here. So Alt HHN allows us to achieve this really simple color scheme. We've only got one color, dark blue, light blue. That's important, particularly if we're using these flags, because with these flags, we're going to have lots of colors flying into this dashboard. Yep. So we don't want to have lots of colors ourselves because they're going to clash with these flags. Right. So what about these charts? These charts are a bit of a mess. So what's a really quick way to format a chart? I store some charts with formats I really like to use for this purpose. Now, firstly, if you're like, Chris, how did you format a chart like that? We have a video called Format Your Excel Chart in 5 minutes. That is links below. Highly recommended. What I'd recommend you do is select your chart. Make sure you're selecting the outer container there, Control-C on the Windows PC, and then select the destination chart, Control-Alt-V. Then you get this Paste Special dialog box. Bit of a secret in Excel, this, I think. You can go formats, and we're going to see our chart looking good. Can we do the same thing? Control-Alt-V, formats, and then one final time, Control-Alt-V and format. So you can see that's how easy it is to format an Excel chart. If I can just resize this container a bit, we can see. Anyway, yeah, you can work on the finer details there, get it looking really good. Another point about color here. Let's just use this gray to ensure that, yeah, we're using this gray to kind of block out parts of the dashboard to ensure we don't want our charts to feel like they're just floating there. So it gives us a nice background color for our charts to sit on. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with this. A little bit of positioning here is going to make it look even more premium. So that's charts, and that's how I format charts super quickly. I'm going to go along here and very quickly, in fact, let's just copy these formats across. I'm going to format this chart super quickly. I'm not going to copy the formats across because we've got different sized cells here. We do have some merge cells. This is one of the disadvantages of using merge cells, of course. We can't easily copy formats because, yes, Excel doesn't like working with the different cells, of course, the different shaped cells. So win, loss, and draw across here, and then we can copy these across too. And this is how I format an Excel dashboard. You can see I'm not spending a lot of time hanging out in these menus, trying to find colors and things like that. It's simple because of our one color scheme and because of our Excel shortcuts using that F4 key to repeat the last action very heavily. So we've covered tip 5, which is some cool charts. So what about dynamic drop-down menus here? This is somewhat unrealistic because England are playing England here. But I noticed I was missing Mexico, which is England's next opponent here. And I added them to the drop-down menu, but in a dynamic way. So Alt-A-V-V on the Windows PC. Let's look at this named range, LWC teams, and it can help you understand how I'm getting this dynamic quality here. So let's go to the list sheet. And let's go ahead and find this name range. So LWC teams, L World Cup teams, of course. So you can see I'm using a table here. And this named range is referring to the first column of the table. So when you create a named range, let's go ahead and do this now. Let's say new named range here. I'm gonna call this dynamic teams. Dynamic teams. And this is what we want here. We can see Excel is using the table reference here. I'm going to go ahead and recreate this so you know how to do it. Control-Shift down, and you can see because this data is tabulated, Excel is using the table notation there. What does that mean? That means we can easily delete a team. Suppose we wanted to delete Mexico here, Alt-H-D and delete table rows L. So now if we go back to our drop-down menu here, we're going to be missing Mexico now missing. Say you wanted to add a team. Well, because we're using a table, it's easy to add the team at the bottom here. I can see my formulae being dragged across too. I can then go ahead, go back to the dashboard. Let's confirm Mexico are appearing here. There we go. And we've got Mexico coming in there. Cool. So that's how to do a dynamic drop-down menu. This dynamic quality is a big feature of Consultant Excel dashboard. So finally, how to get these flags working? Well, first I'm going to resize these columns on the right. Once again, Alt-H-O-W and Enter. I'm going to resize these columns on the right to keep it symmetrical and to match those columns on the left. So this is all about data types. Let's just take a cell here. Let's type in a country name. And then we've got to do something special here, which is to format the cell as a data type. So if we go to data and then to geography here, we're now using the geography data type. You can go ahead and select Mexico and click select in the bottom right here. And you can see next to Mexico, there's this little map symbol, which shows that we're now working with a data type. What does that mean? Well, it means we can do this. We can go ahead and say C26, which is the cell. I've just put that in. Then we can say dot. Now, what we're after for if we want the flag is image, but there's all these other attributes that might be interesting to you. And what does that give us? That gives us the flag. So we can now go ahead and type somebody else in, and maybe we have to go through this process again, and it allows us to create these data types. And let's change this country here. And this is how we get these flags. So the best way to do this is I recommend you kind of pre-create your flags, Blue Peter style, have them ready in the back end. And then you can see I used an XLOOKUP formula here to bring this flag in. So let's go ahead and rebuild this. So XLOOKUP, I'm using XLOOKUP because my lookup value is to the right of the data that I want to return here. So Control Shift down, and then comma. Sorry, the lookup value is what we need first, of course. So let's go to back to the dashboard. Lookup value is here. You can see we're using a named range there. That's going to help us with this kind of complicated dashboard building. Although it's not as complicated as I'm making it look here. I'm still in VLOOKUP mindset because I've selected 2 columns there. And then what's our reference here? This will be the other column in this table. Control Shift down, clean it up a bit, and then hopefully, have I got these the wrong way around? I think I might have got these the wrong way around. So the lookup array is K and the return array should be J. So I'm just going to change these letters over. Then we need J here. We can go ahead, click enter, and I can see, I can see our flags coming in there. Final touches for our dashboards. Well, we can go ahead and delete our workings here. Then Alt WVG on the Windows PC. That takes us back to our super clean look. And who England playing next? Well, at the time of filming, England are playing Mexico next. So let's go ahead and grab Mexico, who are at the bottom of this data set. I could, of course, sort this data. This World Cup dashboard is, of course, available for you to download. What else do you want to know about the World Cup dashboard and Excel dashboards generally? Leave me a comment below. I'll see you in the next video.